The four criminals found themselves standing in the forest. The older man, the supposed human who orchestrated this little caper, much to Hiei's annoyance. And you're supposed to expect me to believe that you're responsible for all this, Mr. Gambler, as you put it? No need for the Mr. now, Hiei. Gambler will do just fine. And yes, I orchestrated this little mission. Safe to say you carried it off without a hitch. Heck, I'm surprised you didn't do a little more killing along the way. I would think that we were as efficient as we needed to be, Kurama said. So, Gyoki said, what's a human doing to try to pick a fight with the spirit world? Can't say it's gonna bode too well for you. I've fought against plenty in the spirit world, and against folks like yourself. Safe to say, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and all that jazz. But for me, I'm nothing more but a hired gun, son. I have my own task to achieve, and thankfully I managed to do it. Even snagged this here little piece. The old man held what appeared to be a tiny microchip in his hand, something that went into a computer or somewhat. That, Hiei said, that's what you were after this whole time? What are you gonna do? Build yourself a dial-up? You humans, always thinking so close-minded. Hiei began swinging his sword around. Ah yes, the sword of darkness, able to turn any living thing, whether it be tree or human, into an E-class demon. A charming little trinket. Trinket? If you were only getting scratched by this, Hiei said, I'll destroy your whole way of life. How's that? Hiei went to go and strike at the man, but he managed to sidestep him. Hiei only struck a tree that morphed into a demon and quickly withered and died. Like I said, just a mere trinket. But I figured it would be a little bit of a reward for you all. It's funny. Why do I have reason to suspect that the spirit world's only going to be coming after us? Kurama would say. This wasn't just a mission for the 3 artifacts, no. We were your pawns. You needed someone to take the fall while you committed the real caper. What? So you just wanted to add another piece of rep to my sheet? Goki said. Well, not like it really matters. I'm already a 12-time convict. Safe to say, adding a few more crimes to the list isn't gonna make too much of a difference. Hiei would growl as he readied himself to strike again. Here this human was, barking and ordering them around as if he were just the mastermind of their fate. He didn't like the idea that a human could get the best of him. The idea that they had stuck their necks out for the likes of a human. I don't really care. I'm keeping this sword, and I don't intend on giving it back. So if you planned on using it, tough luck. You can go on ahead and keep your little toothpick. I don't have any use for it. All of you, you're free to keep your little treasures, do whatever you want. I just wanted to come by and give my thanks and congratulations for a job well done. It was just then that they heard rustling through the trees as another young man would step forward. Hey now, looks like you guys are having a lot of fun out here in the forest. Why didn't you send me an invite? I had to find out the hard way. And who the hell are you? Hiei would ask. It seems like someone from Spirit World has tracked us down, Kurama said as he stood towards the back of the group. The older man would smile, matching Yuske's youthful energy as he went forward to speak. Well now, you must be the new spirit detective that Koenma's been going on about. You know about Koenma? Yuskue would ask. I know a lot of things, kid. It's my job to know. I've always got to know what the stakes are. Knowing when to raise them, when to fold, when to walk away. All the tricks of the trade. Huh. Well, it must be a small world. Still, there is one thing I don't quite understand. If you're supposed to be Koenma's new errand boy, well, just gotta point out the obvious. Why did you come all the way out here by yourself? Well, I think that should be obvious. I'm here to collect the 3 artifacts that you stole and bring you all in. I was told there were only 3 targets, but there appears to be 4. So you're the boss, huh, Grandpa? I'm more of a liaison, you might say. Well, forgive me, but I'm not a fan of big words. Yuskue will hold up his hand. The 4 seeing the ring on his finger, immediately as an emerald dome trapped them all inside. There now, no one's going to be going anywhere. I know about you 3, Hiei, Kurama, Gyoki. But what about you, senior citizen? You care to share your name with the rest of the group? Don't be shy now. You would like to know it, wouldn't you? Unfortunately, I'm not in the business of sharing that type of information. Actually, our partnership is officially dissolved, and we're going to be going our separate ways now. So you're just going to run? Hiei would say. No, but do you have a better idea? Besides, I believe our friend here, Gyuki, is looking for a fight. You could say that again. But first, I'm gonna need some snacks. Gyuki held up his artifact, the Bast, as he began to feed on the souls inside of it, as he started to grow into his monstrous ogre form. Just what the hell is this guy? Nothing more tastier than souls. You know, it's really hard when you have to try to extract it from a human. You gotta cook it, but you gotta cook it just right without killing them and then devouring it all. This here artifact, it takes all of the hustle and bustle out of doing that process. Fresh soul straight from the body and into my belly. Now then, I'm all fired up, filled and ready to go with human spirit. So let's see what you're truly made of. The ogre would attack at Yuskue, causing him to lose his concentration and the barrier to break. Kurama immediately slipped into the darkness of the forest, and Hiei followed close behind. As for the older man, he smiled seeing what Yuskue was using. So, Spirit World was that desperate, huh? They decided to dust off that relic and bring it back. Can't say that I blame them. Still, kid's got a long way to go before he's a real threat. Gyuki will probably take care of him. I'm about 40% sure. Alright then, Gyuki. I'm just gonna leave this kid here to you. Safe to say our partnership was mighty successful, but we'll be drawing it to a close now. Yeah, whatever, human. You're free to do whatever you want. I don't really care. As long as I've got this, I've got an endless supply of snacks. Well, don't be too much of a glutton now. Hey, get back here! Yuskue would yell, but it was pointless now. He had to focus on fighting against the ogre. Yuskue would back up to create distance, holding the ring in hand. He now had to come up with a strategy to beat him. Koenma had walked through some of the process of what the ring could do, along with Botan. He knew about his ace in the hole, but he couldn't use it, remembering what Koenma had said to him. "I'm also giving you a technique," Yuskue remembered Koenma saying in his memories. "It's called the spirit gun. You focus your spiritual energy into the tip of your finger and you fire it off like a bullet. The only problem is, at your current level of power, if you were to fire off a spirit gun, you'll use up all of your spiritual energy for that day, and you won't be able to use the ring. It'll be effectively useless." "What? So you're saying I can fire off a powerful shot of energy, but I can only do it once?" "Yeah, that's the perks, the gifts and the curse of using this power. If you use the ring, then your spiritual energy is being transformed into constructs. But if you use the spirit gun, the ring will help you charge it up and fire off a powerful shot, but you'll only get one shot." Now Yuskue found himself in a conundrum. The ring did enhance his strength and reflexes, allowing him to stay on the back foot against the mighty ogre, Gyuki, as he started ripping out trees from the roots of the ground and began swinging them like warring clubs. Yuskue, not catching his guard in time, raised his hand to create a shield, but the tree branch slammed right through it like it was nothing. Perhaps it was the overabundance of fear of getting hit by a giant tree branch, or just the heat of battle. But now, every time Yuskue tried to form some type of barrier or defense, the wooden trees would just bash right through it. "Oh, great. So now I have a weakness to wood? Man, this thing is useless." By the time Botan arrived onto the scene, she saw that Yuskue was now in for the fight of his life. The young spirit detective was jumping and hopping through the trees, fending for himself, all while the ogre gave chase, punching, ripping, and tearing through the forest side. Every shield that Yuskue tried to put up, every barrier that he tried to form through his will, was immediately shattered. "Huh. So, you really know how to work up an appetite, eh, human? After I devour you, you're not even gonna be close to enough to fill me up. Hopefully the sun doesn't set too soon. Maybe there'll be plenty of children at the play park." "Children? You really are a monster." "What? The way I see it, it's a symbiotic relationship. They can continue to play and dissolve peacefully in my belly. I'm not gonna give you a chance." Yuskue would turn around as he constructed a powerful fist, colliding directly with the ogre's face. However, the monster would tank the shot as he grabbed hold of Yuskue once again, wrapping him in a bear hug. "But I gotta admit, sometimes it's good to have a challenge. I like being able to work up an appetite, a good day's exercise before a good day's meal. And you? Oh yeah, you're not too firm. Not yet, but you're definitely well seasoned with experience. I bet your soul won't go down too easily, but still, all the more tasty and..." Before the ogre knew what hit him, Botan had managed to strike him in the back of the head with her flying staff, although it wasn't going to get her very far. "What the hell? Who struck at me?" Gyuki said, the large towering ogre turning to see a trembling Botan who was slowly trying to back away. Ooh, tall blue bombshell. Yeah, I think I'm in the mood for something spicy, exotic. Your soul," Gyuki said, licking his lips. "Like a foreign cuisine, nice and prime." He looks at me like he wants to make a meal out of me. Get away from her!" "I'll be back for you soon enough, small fry. Say now, pretty lady, how's about you and I get to know each other more closely, intimately?" "Well, you must certainly be a smooth talker, but I don't know. Things seem to be moving quite fast. I would prefer something like a box of chocolates for a first encounter. And Yusuke, help! Botan was now running to distract the beast, while Yusuke would recollect himself. He had tried everything to get to this monster, but his skin was almost as tough as steel. He had created thousands of punching gloves and fists. He tried dousing him in that green fire that Koenma was talking about. He threw everything from a wrench, a baseball bat, steel pipe. Heck, he even constructed and threw the whole kitchen sink at him, and it still wasn't enough. He's completely impervious. I could try to take out his eyes, but it's not gonna stop him. And wait, that's it. I've only got one chance. I've got to get in close and finish him off. While Botan continued to run, she soon found herself cornered, as the ogre was ready to feast upon her soul. At the last moment, Yusuke would come swinging in from the trees like a wild jungle man. The moment that the beast turned around to see what was causing that ruckus, as his mouth gaped open, he found it shoved with a large piece of wood. Yeah, I thought your mom should have taught you better. You never speak with your mouth full. Yusuke pointed his finger gun directly at the mouth of Gyuki. All right, Ring. Show me what you can really do. The emerald ring would begin to glow a strong orange light, as his fingertip would begin to emanate with a powerful beam. Botan would duck as the sound of spirit gun would be fired. The shooting beam of spiritual energy would shoot directly into Gyuki's mouth. No matter how strong he was on the outside, you couldn't train your insides, your muscles to be strong. A lung was still a lung, a kidney was still a kidney, and a heart was still a heart. And all of them were absolutely useless if they got barbecued. With the extra strength given from the emitter of his ring, Yusuke would fire off a successful spirit gun, destroying Gyuki, the ogre. With the first artifact now recovered, although Yusuke was exhausted, it was definitely a job well done. Not so bad, eh, Botan? That's one down, Botan said. We have the Orb of Bast. Now, it's just on to the Forlorn Hope and the Shadow Sword. Wait, Yusuke said. What is it? Botan would allow her to wrap Yusuke's arm onto her own, as she would help carry the spirit detective home. There's something else you should know. When I arrived, I didn't just see those 3 criminals of the photos that you showed me. There was a fourth. A fourth? Yeah, some older looking guy. Shady dealer. He looked like he was involved with the other 3. A fourth one? We never had reports of a fourth one. There were only 3. Well, from what I was able to hear right before I showed up, he sounded like he was in cahoots with the other 3. He was definitely working with them. And he held something in his hand. What was it? It looked like a little computer chip or something. I'm not entirely sure what it was. I'll have to get in contact with Koenma. Maybe there was a 4th perpetrator. You don't think that all of this was just a setup? Some wild goose chase? Who knows? But one thing's for sure. If the 3 artifacts were nothing more but a distraction, then I'd hate to think what our enemy might really be after. Things might only go from bad to worse. Don't worry. I'm not gonna let that happen. We're gonna recover these artifacts. And then, we're gonna find that old man. He's the key to all of this. Yes, but before that, you're going to need the rest. Your mother's been worried sick about you, you know. My mom? Yeah. Yusuke's mom had been pretty clingy since he had been brought back to life, but why would Botan know this? Oh, we spent the whole day together. She's a lovely woman, you know. You spent the whole day with my mom? Yes, and what of it? Oh, jeez, she's gonna get the wrong idea. Wrong idea about what? I mean, it's quite flattering, Yusuke, but I don't think that you're really my type. Besides, there's always Keiko. Shut up! Let's just go already. As they made their way back to Yusuke's home, just before they arrived, walking through a crowd of people, time would suddenly stop. Looking around to see what had happened, Yusuke saw him, the one known as Kurama. It's him! Hello, spirit detective. What do you want? You come here to pick a fight too? Or maybe to avenge your friend? I can assure you, Gyuki and I are not friends at all. He was merely a partner, a means to an end. My business is with you. With me? Yusuke thought. He didn't have much that he could do. The ring, the star heart, it needed to recharge. He didn't have access to his constructs or his spirit gun, and he could barely stand as it was. Not to mention they were in a crowd of people. That meant casualties. Still, if this guy was really that depraved, Yusuke was ready to throw everything to the wind if it meant he could protect them. I'm not looking for a fight. I just came with an offer. An offer? What exactly are you offering? 3 days. I simply need 3 days with the forlorn hope. After that, you can have it, and I'll gladly go in as your prisoner. What? What is he getting at? Botan would ask. But before they could make any more headway, Kurama was gone. All they knew was that in 3 days he would contact them, and seemingly be prepared to surrender. But why 3 days? And just what was he planning to do with the artifact of darkness? This concludes Yu Yu Hakusho Emerald Detective. What if Yusuke Urameshi was the Green Lantern? Season 1, Part 2. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that has to come out now and in the future. Stay tuned tomorrow evening as we continue with Yu Yu Hakusho Emerald Detective. What if Yusuke Urameshi was the Green Lantern? Season 1, Part 3. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings, signing off, and I'll see you next time.